Hoki atu koe ki ngā mātua ki o tūpuna e Piripi. Hoki atu ki te kāinga I hanga mo te tangata. Moi mai, moi mai, moi mai ruti tariki. Koutou e hui tahi nei e pupuru ki te Māori, tēnā koutou e te koro matua ānuru ki ngā me mo te kaunihera. Tēnei te mihi atu ki te whānau pani e noho nei. I just want to greet and acknowledge His worship and counsellors, and especially at this time I turn to the family of Philip. It is my pleasure to greet you on this occasion as we remember the wonderful work of Piripi Philip this morning. I acknowledge you once, I acknowledge you twice, I acknowledge you 3 times. Nō reira huri noa I roto I te whare nei koutou e pai nei. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. May I conclude with a short himene from the group here. Tēnā koutou. Ahakoa ko toa te rā I tēnei wā I rungi a Piripi apopo ka maranga anō ka anga whakamua e tō tātou nei tāne o kirikiri roa. We have a proverb, the sun has set. The sun has set on Piripi, on Philip. Although the sun is set in the morning, it'll rise again as we do what Philip would love us to do. We'll rise and build Hamilton to be one of the best cities in New Zealand. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, kaeke.
We are gathered here today to remember the positive impact that Philip has had on our worlds, to celebrate the difference that he was able to make. He was an amazing man that gave joy to everyone who interacted with him. I was in the stairwell at work last week talking with a colleague, and she said every time she thought of Philip, she couldn't help but smile. He had a way of doing that to us. He always made people feel valued. He always made time for people. You felt good to be around Philip. He had the X factor, the wow factor. He was able to win people over. I see so much of your dad and you, Jeannie. And a story that Jeannie shared with us a few months ago was of Philip's dad relocating from northern China down to Hong Kong. And I thought about the story so many times, and I see Philip so often in the detail of the story. Philip's dad had survived as a soldier through the Chinese Civil War, through World War II, and in 1950 he decided to make his way into a new world. He managed to travel first class on the trains from northern China down to the border of Hong Kong, no questions asked. When he was on the border, he convinced 3 communist soldiers to take him on a day trip into Hong Kong. And once they were over the border, he disappeared and started a new life. It was there that he met Philip's mum, and by 1956, Philip was born. He was the 3rd child of 5. Philip always believed in hard work. Even when he was a dignitary at our citizenship ceremonies, if there was work to be done, he would roll up his sleeves and do it. As a child, Philip's family was involved in knitting and selling garments, and he would often have to deliver across the city. He always did enough study in the downtime to make it through to the next year. Post-school, he did a little bit of textiles before he decided to retrain in tourism. And I know me and so many others are just so grateful for that decision. It was in the 1-year tourism course that he met Alice, that he met lifelong friends who ultimately had a hand in him coming to Hamilton. Alice and Philip married in January 1985, enjoyed nearly 32 years together, and we acknowledge, Alice, that it's not long enough. Philip was deeply committed to his family, those he loved dearly. The move to Hamilton in 1996 was purely to give space to a life that wasn't just work. He began his career with council in 2001. Next weekend would celebrate 16 years of working for the organisation. I remember when I started as his manager, we looked at his immense hours that he worked attending festivals, events, celebrations. And he was always happy to do it because he knew the value that was in those moments, the value that it spoke to so many people. But he also was happy because it meant that he could take some extended periods of time off work to be with Alice, to do DIY and building of the home. He always had time for people. He was always interested in making the lives of others better. And for that reason, he was appointed a Justice of the Peace in 2007. In 2013, he became the city's first ethnic Chinese elected member when he received the 3rd highest number of votes. He will be remembered as a man of the people who always stayed true to his values and commitments. Philip has made a significant contribution to our lives individually, as wider community, and as the city as a whole. Philip, we remember who you were and what you have done for us, and collectively we say thank you. I'd love to invite the Hamilton Mandarin Church Choir to come to stage and perform a piece entitled I Know Who Holds Tomorrow. If you guys could come, it'd be greatly appreciated. The choir knows that the Lord is in control of all stages of our life, and has Philip. They would love to share a song with us that has the message that the Lord holds our tomorrows. Thanks, team.